Okay, we're back with another video. This time, huge planned updates for New World. Mid-December, they should be coming out. It's all been released now. We've had the we've already had the December PTR announcement that's come through. Loads of things that they're announcing in here. Some like Christmas events and like holiday events where there's going to be like specific limited time content. You're going to have festival things in there. They've included like sort of like token collecting where you then get to get your new gear and stuff like that, or like skins for gear. It's going to be pretty good. I think it's about time they added this. It's a little late, but then again, I guess winter is technically December, January, February. It would have been nice maybe if this was out for the start of December, but then again, we don't want to try and rush New World because we know what happens when they rush out you know, when they rush out updates, things don't tend to go well. But in general, if you've not seen the PTR announcement, so the public test realm, that's been updated again, so you can jump on there now and you can test all of this stuff. But then there's some full-blown patch notes, which we're going to go through next. But essentially, yeah, all of this is in there. There's like ice caves are going to be in there. If we as players on the server don't get rid of them, they'll stay there forever. Like some caves in the game will literally stay like marked with ice, so then you'll know that's something that's happened in the past. And they're adding in new quests, new journal categories, new features. They are changing the watermark system to the expertise system. They're going to change how you can actually collect your expertise, if you like. Now you're going to have limited time from now until this update, which will be in about a week's time, middle of December, when this update comes out. You'll have chance now to keep grinding your chest farming if you want, your release chest farming. If you don't want to, though, you can just leave that out, leave it a week, and then you can come into this new system. However, what I probably would do is, if you're really keen to get your watermark, your expertise, once that comes out, as high as possible, I would grind the shit out of the elite chest farming for this one more week. And then remember, you're not going to have to do it again, really, because the way they've changed it, you're not really going to have to do that. So yeah, based on feedback, they've changed this kind of stuff, which is good. Some trade skill changes that they're putting in there as well, but we'll go through all this as well. PvP balancing changes. Some of them are a little bit strange, but we'll see. So yeah, there's bits and bobs in here. However, if we go through this properly now, because there's a post in the forum where there's a lot more going on here. If I chuck myself mid-video all the way over here, then you'll be able to see properly. Yeah, these are the updates that we've got that are coming out. So like we said, they've renamed the high watermark system to the expertise system and now display expertise values in the UI. This is something along with luck I hope that they add to the UI, because luck is like a fairly big thing in the game. You know, you try and get all your luck gear and stuff like that, but then you don't know how much luck you've got unless you keep going through all your gear and counting it all up and writing it down. It'd be nice if it just showed you in the UI, you know, where your stats are for all of your you know, your armor values and all that kind of stuff, and your health values. It could just show your luck values as well. They showed that in like Guild Wars 2, I think, from the start of the game, so something like that will be quite nice. So yeah, so they've added on there. Let's go down here a little bit. Players will level up banner whenever they increase their expertise. An average expertise value is also shown above average gear score on the paper doll. That's weird. On the paper doll, each slot will now display what the current expertise level of that slot is. They've introduced gypsum resource that can be acquired by performing a variety of endgame activities each day. Obsidian gypsum. Defeating level 60 plus open world name bosses typically found in elite landmarks. Sapphire gypsums defeat the final bosses of the Lazarus Instrumentality, and I can't ever say that word, and Garden of Genesis dungeons. If you want, these are obviously going to tier down here then. So then the ruby gypsums can be found in Outpost Rush and caches. I've been doing a lot of Outpost Rush recently, so that'll be pretty good to get those. Emerald gypsums will be found in trade skill aptitude reward containers. Citron found in arena caches. Amethyst ones will be found in breach caches, and topaz ones will be found on hostile creatures level 55 plus, but only after consuming a special attunement potion that can be crafted at a tier 5 camp. Craft a potion, drink it, and start defeating level 55 plus hostile creatures anywhere in the world to find them. This potion can only be crafted once per week. Damn, so the cooldowns are in there as well. They've introduced a Kiln Station in all endgame zones that allows players to craft gypsum orbs from the various types of gypsum. These orbs can then be crafted into gypsum casts of any weapon, armor, or trinket type. So that'll be good if you're obviously your light armor, your heavy armor. You know, you're not sort of like limited to only one. You can go and get out exactly which one you want. The Digimon cast will guarantee an expertise bump and reward players with a gear of the cast type. They've tuned down the general chances of getting an expertise bump to compensate for the guaranteed bumps that were added with Gypsum. So you know, you're doing your elite chest farm runs. You know, you could hit like, I don't know, you could hit like 20 elite chests. And okay, on average, this doesn't really happen, but it could happen, you know, where you don't get, for example, a chest piece. Therefore, your chest watermark, or soon to be expertise, level won't actually go up. That'll be stuck on 520, 550, whatever yours is. This now will give you a guaranteed way to craft the chest. So for example, if you're going for your chest piece, you're trying to get that up, you can now guarantee to just sort of like spam craft your chest piece to get that mark up. So this is kind of good. It's going to be a little bit harder to get it up, but it's fuck's sake, but it's going to be guaranteed, so that at least you know it's going to happen. So it's not as random, which I think is pretty good. Elite chest odds were reduced a little, but open world bosses were reduced a lot. So that's like the toughness and stuff like that. Expedition bosses remain the same. They've adjusted the potential range of an expertise increase based on the expertise level. In general, the ranges stay slightly wider for further up the progression range, which translates into less overall increased moments required to reach the cap. So on average, most people will get there with fewer bumps required. So maybe you're not hitting, you know, 520, 525, 530, 535. Maybe this time you're hitting 530, 540, 550. Maybe, you know, maybe just like a bit of a reduction there. We have to see how that pans out. They've increased rewards for expeditions to further incentivize doing them. So this is kind of important. So this is going to make orb crafting as well really, really important for anybody who's not been doing that. It's gonna push you into doing the dungeon more often, and then doing the open world PvE. Well, some people have been doing the PvP flagged recently. Chest elite farm. It's gonna force you into the dungeons more, which is probably what they want you to do. In addition, Gypsum drops. Each expedition boss will guarantee a random expertise bump. No arena bosses also guarantee a bump. Well, this is good. So if you can farm the bosses and stuff, you're always going to get the bumps in there, which is pretty good. They've fixed all chests in Lazarus and Garden of Genesis, so they have a chance to provide end-game expertise bumps. This is pretty big for anybody who likes farming those. You're going to see a lot more people in the world chat saying, you know, selling my orb for 2k and 3k, just take me with you. You know, those kind of people. There's loads of them. Added timeless shards to expeditions. So we'll have to see below to see what they are. Here we go. So they introduced timeless shards, a new crafting ingredient that can be used to guarantee specific stats on weapons and armor. Damn, okay. A timeless shard is a crafting artifact that enables the player to craft an item with a specific attribute bonus on it while still being able to use a craft mod to guarantee a perk. Oh, okay, that's pretty good. Timeless shards are guaranteed to drop from expedition bosses and have a chance to drop from elite chests in expeditions and elite points of interests. Okay, that's not too bad. Let's have a look. They've adjusted 2 POIs to become endgame content. Okay. The Malevolent Elite POI in Eden Grove was up-leveled to level 66 and now has 6 elite chests that can all provide endgame expertise bumps. Okay. The Imperial Palace plus North Dynasty Shrine elite POIs in Ebonscale Reach were up-leveled to level 66 as well, and they now have 8 elite chests there that can provide. I think this is pretty good. So this is gonna like move people around the map rather than people literally just spamming, you know, up in the northeast of the map. It's now gonna like move them around a little bit, so that, you know, a lot more places to go. So you're not grinding the same place, the same POI, you know, daily. You can at least mix them around a bit more. They've increased the level of endgame corrupted breaches to 66. Oh, okay. They've made a number of adjustments in the endgame difficulty to compensate for some accidental overtuning they did in the November patch. Our goal here is to find a middle ground between the 2 easy endgame content we had in pre-November and the overtune HP sponges we had afterwards. Okay, so Merkgard here. Difficulty adjustments in there. They've reduced the difficulty of corrupted acolytes, cooks, priests, ogres, and commanders. I think people were pretty happy with that because some of them are annoying. Added an elite chest to the upper harrow in Merkgard near the named commander Arcos. So, okay, that's in there. Ebonscale Reach adjustments. Let's see what they've done here. They've reduced the difficulty a variety of named AI in the open world. Alligators, boars, bears, and withered grunts. I tell you what, boars do my fucking head in. You run past a boar, you don't cause any problems. You're a couple of levels higher than it. It'll still chase you for 5 minutes, you know, bumping your ass, you know, every now and again if you don't dodge it right down. They're so annoying, boars, but we'll see. They'll probably still chase you, maybe. Just, I don't know. Maybe they don't catch you this time. I don't know. In Imperial Palace, slash the North Palace Shrine difficulty, they have reduced the difficulty of the named bear, corrupted tigers, dynasty spearmen, summoners, and warriors. So they've all been decreased a little bit there. That's not too bad. They've relocated Daisy the dancing bear and renamed and moved Morgoth. Okay. Is that moved to Morgoth? Okay. Forbidden Ritual POI has been discontinued and placed with a fast travel option. Okay. Several elite chests were moved into the final boss encounters of Imperial Palace and North Palace Shrine. Okay. Scorpius. Oh, right. The difficulty adjustments in Scorpius. I remember when they added those elite tendrils. They were so annoying. We just did a Scorpius run straight after the update, not knowing that anything had changed, and we got our fucking asses whooped because we just weren't expecting. It was only 2 or 3 of us. We didn't go in as a group, so that was kind of funny. So they reduced the difficulty of the elite tendrils and hellmouths and the named corrupted heavy. Okay. Ambush the superior slash inferior POIs. Replace 2 large supply chests with elite chests. Okay. Additional corrupted musketeers were added to both POIs. Dead Man's Cove POI reduced the difficulty of the named ghost. Okay. Brightwood Isle reduced the difficulty of the 2 named ghosts as well. Let's have a look. In Perryville, they've reduced the difficulty of the named Alligator, Ghost, and Undead Hunter. Mangled Heights, it looks like they've reduced some in here as well, the Corrupted Elks. In Eridanus, they have reduced the difficulty of the Dryad Shamans. In Caminus, they have moved an existing elite chest into the boss encounter with Caminus Gate Lord. Zvikin's Stand reduced the difficulty of the 2 named Acolytes and the named Workmen. Okay, and then the last one here in Eternal Pool POI, they've reduced the difficulty of Dryad Shamans, also added a new platform, stairs, and walls so that the Viridulan and the Rootbound can navigate to players outside the combat area. Okay, so world experience, let's have a look then. So this is what we were just talking about at the start of the video. They're bringing in this holiday event, the 14th, because this is American, isn't it? The 14th of December, this looks like it's coming through until the 11th of January. That's actually not that long considering it's a winter event. You get in what, 3 weeks, three and a bit, yeah, 3 and a bit weeks you get in there. Not quite, you know, a full-blown 4 weeks. I thought this would be a little bit longer. I thought it might be like a 2-month event, but maybe they've got more things planned for end of January or February, so we'll have to have a look. But let's go through it anyway. So the winter convergence holiday event is upon Eternum, marked by the appearance of increased snowfall and the northern lights in the sky. These, I hope, are going to look really, really good, especially if you've got obviously a really good PC, you know, really nice monitor. Hoping this is actually going to visually look pretty good. This is a time of duality and what is that word? Dichotomy? Dichotomy? I don't even. I'm going to skip past that word. I don't even know what that is. I'll have to Google that later. As the Yeti, the Winter Wanderer, comes to the land, while in the settlements, gifts are exchanged, is what we were talking about before, tokens, but they're going to be called gifts. Gifts are exchanged to mark the passing of the year. Outside the safety of the walls, there rages a wintry war between the positive forces of winter, the slumber perseverance. Oh my god, I'm having a bad day today. My eyes are so sore right now. Championed by the Winter Wanderers' positive side and the negative forces of winter, the death and the stagnation. Championed by the Winter Wanderers' negative side. Okay. The player takes on the cause of the Winter Wanderer to collect winter token. Oh, I did call it token. Never mind. From repeatable event across the island, able to turn them into holiday shops containing rare and cosmetic items. The Winter Wanderer's positive aspect grows in power with each token collected and tuned in. This sounds really, really good. But essentially, if there's like skins, you know, cosmetic items, I like the sound of this. You know, you don't just have to buy all these skins now. It looks like you can earn some. Plus, you get the free ones from Prime, like on Twitch and stuff like that. But so this is pretty good. So the ice caves that we spoke about as well are appearing in all over Eternum because of the Winter Warrior's desire for a forever winter. They are snowy and icy caves that the Yeti use their powers to freeze up and make snowfall. The The rest of Eternum will look like these ice caves if the onslaught of the warrior is not stopped. So it looks like if you're on a dead server, which I know the server merge is coming, this might be a bit of a tough thing. But if you're on a nice high populated server, like I play on Bifrost on EU, so if people get involved in this, I can't imagine there being any problems for not defeating it. Where do we go to? Oh yeah, these caves will remain behind after the event as scars on the land, sources of wintry magic that refuse to melt even with the warrior's eventual defeat by the player. So you need to like sort of grind this out a little bit, make sure that you're keeping them back. Icy winds. There we are. Yeah, Icy Winds and the Winter Wanderer bring them new armors, weapons, furnishings, skins, consumables, and a delightful present gifting emote, all themed off the wonderful Eternum holiday of winter conversions. This is pretty good. One thing I would like them to add to the game as well, I don't know if this is in the list or if this is something that they may pick up. Every time they have these events, I wish they would bring out a little title for it. So like if they're going to call this, you know, Winter Convergence, or it might be like Winter Event 1, do you know what I mean? Something like that, something that you can have on your account to show that you were there playing during these events back in the day. So if this game is still going in 5 years time, 10 years time, you could show people that you still have the titles back from year 1, and people will like to collect those from year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4. So I think that'll be pretty good if they ever bring that in. Winter villages. The Winter Wanderer has set up 4 villages to facilitate the joy and cheer of winter convergence. Visit these villages in Everfall, Monarch's Bluffs, Weaver's Fen, and Brightwood. So that's where you can go to meet the Winter Wanderer and carry out his holiday quests. So that's obviously where you pick them up. Here we go. So the activities: the Convergence Spirit. Celebrate the spirit of the season by giving and helping hand in decorating your favorite settlement. Okay. The Convergence Spirit is a special town project that allows players to complete special town project quests to upgrade each settlement's Tree of Light for improved daily rewards. All right, we'll have to have a look into that one. Lost Present Recovery. Those dastardly frigid folk are spreading their mischief and stealing presents across Eternum. They are located throughout the world are lost presents to be recovered and turned in for winter tokens and the Winter Village holiday huts. So these are all like little like, you know what these kind of things are. I mean, we've seen these in other games, so this looks okay. The Gleamite collecting. I'm having a bad day. Bright, glittering, gleaming Gleamite meteors of multitude of color fall from the night sky during this time of the year. As destructive as they are, beautiful. So we'll have to see, do we physically get to see the meteor literally come from the sky, land, and then you go and like mine it or something? Like this will be pretty good. Gleamite showers are a new random dynamic event that occurs at night throughout Eternum. Keep your eyes and ears open as you search for locations where the showers are most prevalent. Exchange the harvested crystals for winter tokens at the Winter Village holiday huts. Happy hunting. I actually like the sound of this. This could be a little bit fun. We'll see. Okay, so Winter Convergence quests. 7 new quests for the holiday event. The quest line ranges from level 25 to 60. So if you're a low level player, don't worry, you can still get involved. They put improvements to the main story quests. Destiny Unearthed gets a soloable option. Okay. The nose has improved level design and new tasks associated with actually acquiring the ingredients for bear repellent. Okay. And Triumphant Return quest now requires players to extinguish fires in the fort Alazar before rescuing Rima. Okay, so little updates in there. That's okay. Supplemental territory quests. 16 new quests added to Morningdale. 13 new quests added to Restless Shore. That's pretty good. So for people who like those PvE questing, they got loads there. They got new housing quests as well. 7 new quests have been added. That's pretty good as well. You can't knock them for adding more quests, because we all know how boring the quests have been from launch. For these, seek out Giacomo Altovoli in the settlement in First Light, Everfall, Monarch's Bluffs, or Windswood to get started. Completion of Encroaching Corruption required, so make sure you've done that one. So they got some notable fixes in here. We'll skim through these, and if you want to listen along whilst we do, because this is going to be quite a long video, but we'll try and go through it. They've add more info to tell players that PvP faction missions doesn't reset on death. Okay. Fixed an issue where killing corrupted tendril AI did not progress the Adiana's Fountain quest. They removed elite quests prereqs for level 40 weapons and armor quests where possible. Support added to display the Spirit Shrine icons on the map like other POIs in the world. Quest markers for visions of invaders is now shown on the map. They fixed issues where some Morningdale NPCs don't have map markers for quest acceptance and turn-in. They fixed an issue with players farming Captain Thorpe after clipping through the Merkgod Cathedral. It was not intended to be a combat target. Why have that in there then? Do you know what I mean? Why is developers leave that in there if you didn't want that in there? But fine. Fixed issue where players were able to clip through the walls of the attacker war camps. Okay, that's pretty decent. Right, general AI. Abominations fixed an issue with bite and swipe attacks on larger scaled abominations that made them miss. Ancient Guardian Mage, they have fixed an issue causing the mage's rolling spell to sometimes hit behind the mage. So these are all like little fixes to each kind of mob and stuff, so there's nothing crazy in here. These are mostly PvE mobs, aren't they? So yeah, so there's not too much going on here. But yeah, have a little read of these on screen if you want. It saves me reading them out because some of these are just minor little changes that won't affect too much here. Dungeon AI, however, you know, if you like running your dungeons, these are probably good ones to keep an eye on. So in general, they have fixed a rare issue that allowed boss enemies to permanently use their group wipe ability to kill all players. Oh wow, that's good. Anyone still running Amrine? If so, Simon Gray. They have fixed a very rare issue allowing Simon's consume ability to deal damage to himself. Come on, that was never a thing, surely. That's ridiculous. In the Depths dungeon, they have fixed an issue causing AI to get stuck in the retreating state in the depths. Archdeacon as Amelia fixed an issue that rarely allowed the Archdeacon to see the target players outside of his room. Captain Thorpe, Darkness calls fire. Ring will now apply a single tick of damage and burn when players run into it. Fire Charge will now more rapidly apply 3 stacks of burn. Burn is now capped at 3 stacks down from 5. Okay, so Dynasty Shipyard, probably one of my favorite ones because I think it's just so easy to run through. Isabella's Tigers fixed an issue causing Isabella's cannons not to properly deal damage on impact. They've fixed issues causing Isabella's Wave Beam attack to hit players twice. And they've increased the aggro radius for the Musketeers so that they always target a player. They're from the ships, I think, right? Empress Taeying. The Empress will now dash to players who are far away. Fix several issues that allowed the Empress to accidentally kill players who were in Death's Door. And fixed an issue allowing the Empress Corruption Wave to hit a player twice if they were standing between 2 waves of corruptions. In Lazarus, so a lot of people are running Lazarus recently, the demos, they fixed an issue that could cause Demo's lunging spear attack to miss players in melee range. Okay, with Scylla, they have fixed an issue causing Scylla's arcane wave attack to hit players twice. They've also fixed her arcane snares to execute players who were in Death's Door. And they've also fixed her arcane bomb spell to continue casting after she is dead. Wow. There is still one case that allows this to happen, and we're looking into solutions. Okay, so hopefully they fix that within the next week before this update comes out. So AI fixes. They've adjusted Slicer, decreased spawn rate. 1 Slicer. Oh, the slicers. I hate these things. They're so annoying. Okay, so decrease the spawn rate. 1 Slicer every 5 seconds has now changed to 1 Slicer every 10 seconds. But the duration is 10 seconds to 20 seconds. So they doubled the duration, but then halved the amount that spawn. Okay. Not much of a change then, I guess. You kind of just balance themselves out, I think, with that one. Fix an issue where standing on top of the slicer would not continue to apply damage. I've never seen that before. Okay, so now with combat, some things here that we'll try and skim through. I know this is getting to a long video, but if you're still here, I appreciate it. We have quite a lot in here. I'm not going to be able to read these all out on the same video. However, if you want to pause at any moment here and pick out your weapon, you can do. Again, I'll read out some of the ones from the weapons that I use, which at the moment is spear and bow. I use those the most, so I'll read them out. But at any moment, you can just pause here and you can check out yours. So with bow, Rain of Arrows, they fixed an issue that allowed this skill to deal damage to targets through fort gates and war camp gates. The bleeding effect from Rain of Arrows can no longer be stacked by multiple players using the ability on the same target. This change was made to keep the ability consistent with other AoE skills that can be stacked on top of each other. Penetrating Shot, Blood-Soaked Arrow fixed an issue that caused this upgrade to increase damage with each hit instead of after each hit. Okay. Surprise attack. Updated description of this passive ability to specify that its effect is per target. They've improved all aim down sights transitions between abilities and primary shot. This also addresses an issue that prevented penetrating shot and poison shot from being cancelled after exciting the shots. Okay. And mark upgrade. Fixed an issue where the damage increase would not cap. It will now cap at 30% damage increase against an enemy with a debuff. And then going down to spear, because that's another one that I use. They've increased the hit shape size and homing on all thrust attacks. Okay. Skewer increases lunge distance by 50%. Oh, that's actually quite good, actually. Yeah, perforate increases rotation speed during the ability. Strong conditioning. They fixed an issue where strong conditioning buff could be cancelled by using a honing stone. Stone conditioning no longer shows a text pop-up when triggered. Okay, so all of these are sort of like your different weapon ones. We'll mention dodge, though. They fixed an issue where you could repeatedly dodge while in an exalted state if you were pressing any directional inputs. And abilities which previously only prevented dodging, such as Ice Shower, have been updated so that they now also prevent jumping as well. Okay, interesting. With the navigation, what have they done here? Crouch/prone. Crouch and prone can no longer be toggled while holding the block button. Okay. Fixed an issue where traversing with auto run and auto traverse had a slight movement pause. Issues fixed with character leg animations when sheathing staff weapons. Fixed issues with weapons sometimes not equipping properly when players quickly switch between crouch or stand. Issues fixed where players could clip through outcropping collision by using certain abilities while prone. Fixed an issue where players could desync their unsheathed weapon by repeatedly using prone and dodge commands. Okay. Now, perks. Let's have a look. Exhilarate perk, which is a gem perk. Updated description to clarify that the damage bonus applies when the gem's owner's health is below the specified percentage rather than the target. Okay. And retaliate gem perk. They've updated the description to clarify that the effect provided by this perk only lasts for a specific number of hits, and added a status of effect icon that will appear while the effect is active. They've also increased the number of hits player can perform while retaliate is active from 1 to 3. Keen Berserk, they fixed an issue where the perk tooltip was displaying inaccurate HP percentages. Okay. Now, additional perks added. So, some of these are fairly decent. These, like little added things you can get on your crafting and stuff like that for the first ones. Like logging speed, you can go from 3 to 15%. Mining speed, 3 to 15%. Skinning speed, harvesting speed, all that kind of stuff. There's some additional ones in here as well. Have a read of these in case any of these on the screen, that is, if any of these are actually applicable to you. Some of these I use because it's getting to be like a really long video, like a half an hour long video. But yeah, check out these on the screen now. You can have a look at those. Outpost Rush, something I've been doing recently. Initial spawn areas now have barriers preventing enemies from entering. Fixed to a crash when exiting Outpost Rush. I've had a few mates who've had that problems as well. Miscellaneous fixes. Mana. Fixed an issue where players could drop below 0 mana. Consumables. Using a consumable will now cancel aiming. And weapon mastery descriptions. Naming, pass, and fix to multiple grammatical errors in ability descriptions. Okay. So, that is decent. All right, so some of those, a lot of fixes in there, and I know that's like a long read, so if anyone's actually still here in this video, fair play to you. Let me know in the comment section down below if you're actually still here at roughly 28.5 minutes. Let me know if you're actually still here at this video. The trade skill attribute. We want to continue rewarding the efforts you make to craft items for yourself, your friends, or to make a buck on the trading post. So we have introduced trade skill aptitude. Upon reaching level 200 in a trade skill, the leveling circle will update to show 3 markers, equidistant from each other on the circle. Earning trade skill XP will begin progressing you again, and when you reach one of these markers, you will be rewarded with a container of useful items that are mostly trade skill relevant, such as craft mods, special ingredients, and even schematics and recipes. Nice. Okay. Each subsequent marker awards a more spectacular container with more rewards than the one before. Gaining enough XP to go all the way around the circle will increment the aptitude counter by 1. This counter will keep counting so you can keep track of how many times you've wrapped your progression around the top level. We have also introduced a new type of reward with this system, equipment patterns. The equipment patterns are crafting artifacts that enable you to craft a guaranteed gear score 600 item that has a specific appearance. Nice. Patterns require a significant amount of powerful crafting resources to create, but guaranteed 600 gear score item. Nice. Patterns still roll perks, and players have the normal amount of control over the outcome with craft mods and Azoth. Equipment patterns have a small chance to drop from Arcana, weaponsmithing, armoring, and engineering aptitude reward caches. Nice. Okay. So there's quite a bit in here. So for refining, they've got some stuff in there as well. They've added recipes that let you refine 250 of a T5 raw ore, wood, fiber, rawhide. That's all in there as well. So you can check out those rewards. They've got some rewards in there as well. There are a number of knights in the game that have valuable named items for players around level 20 to 25. So again, if you're a lower level, go seek them out. They've added a tier 5 amulet ring and earring drops that randomly roll all stats and gear score, all level 60 plus content. Okay, that'll be a little bit interesting to see what we get from there. But yeah, there's like a lot of updates in here, so you know, like a lot of reward updates. I would definitely check these out. Again, at any moment you can just pause and read these. There's a lot in here. Do you know what I mean? Even with fishing, they've made some change. Notable bug fixes, which, I mean, there's just so much in here. I mean, anybody going through all of this update, you'll just be thinking, wow. I mean, fair play again to New World. If they actually manage to not break anything again, if the trading post doesn't go down again, that'd be pretty good, because every time the big update comes out like this, I think a lot of players get excited, and then people then see some of the things that they break instead, which is a bit of a shame. However, if they I think if they get this winter update right, this could increase more players returning to the game, possibly. There's still a high amount of people playing this game. Again, I'm on the Bifrost server on EU, and we've never had a problem with a dead server. From day one, we had queues. When they brought Outpost Rush back a good couple of weeks ago now, we went back to having queues again. We don't really have queues anymore, but we always tend to have like 1,500 to 1,800 logged into the server at like average peak times. So I don't think there's too much of an issue with the amount of people playing the game. But however, a big update like this might bring a lot of people back. I've got a lot of people who we've kicked out of our guild recently because we've hit 100 members. We've had to kick them out of our guild because they've not played for like 30 whatever days, 20 odd days, you know, and they've not told us why. So there is a lot of players out there that have just not played for a long time. So I'm hoping like a big update will bring a lot of players back, so we'll have to see. But fingers crossed New World get this one right anyway. I like the fact that they brought in a nice winter event. That should be good. I'm glad that they're making a change to the watermark system, because I think most people didn't like it. They all said, you know, collecting chest simulator wasn't good end game, which I agree. They're now pushing you more towards doing dungeons, and they're spreading out the actual elite farm chesting, so it's not just in pretty much 1 or 2 areas anymore. It's now looking like it's going to be in 4 or 5 different areas. It's looking good, you know. A shit ton more quests in there as well. There's a lot of things in this update. Again, at any moment, if I've skipped something out that you wanted me to read out, just, you know, you can pause the video at any moment. But yeah, before you go, if you want to drop a cheeky little like and a sub on the channel, I'm going to start streaming some New World from this rather than my Twitch channel. If you want to check me out on Twitch, you can. It's twitch.tv/LiamH. But I'm going to start streaming a lot more of my New World content on this channel, on the YouTube channel. So if you want to drop a sub, you'll see when I next go live. And yeah, guys, cheers for... voice is gone. Cheers for watching me in this video, and I will catch you in the next one.